I'm shooting with the GoPro Hero 7 Black. The DJI Osmo Action camera. It has the latest firmware 1.10.00.40. You see a whole bunch of things on the table. An iPhone, an RC car, a Samsung Gear 360 2017, and the GoPro Hero 8. The LiPo battery to the RC car will overheat in a hot day for the reason of the ESC, electronic speed controller, the motor heating up, always at full throttle, causing too much heat, and it's a protective circuit that will shut the vehicle down. When it cools down, it will then restart. With the Osmo Action, I do apologize when we use these cameras to show something close up. 18 inches is the minimal focal length. I'm here nice and close for you. Firmware 1.9 does not have this, but firmware 1.10 does. You're looking for temperature threshold. It is set on high. High will allow you to record at the hottest setting. Low will be at a lower setting. I'm going to shut my camera down because there's no need to have it on anymore. And when you're out on a nice hot day and the sun is blaring down, some of the things you want to do is, if you're recording, you swipe down on the screen and you can lower the setting of the camera, the brightness. So we're recording. I swipe down. You can see where I'm at, about 70%. I like to keep it about like so, 48%. You could turn the screen off by swiping up. I don't know if some people know that. 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, never. I always keep mine on, never. I don't record hours on end, so I don't overheat. But if you want to take the battery out of the camera, you can, and you can use an external power source. I'd rather just shoot as is. I do get unlimited record time over and over and over with short video clips. I at times do 10-minute videos, and I may make a mistake. I will stop it, redo it again. And overheating may or may not be an issue for some. For me, the only time I see an overheating issue is with this Mini or the iOS with the wireless MIMO and Osmo Action. 15 minutes into the recording, after a number of times, my camera will show a overheating issue. But the good thing about this is the camera will continue to record while it shows the overheat. And I don't think you mentioned that. And that's something that I've noticed for a long time. Now, with the GoPro Hero 8, you better believe it. This camera will overheat. It will shut down. It would not continue to record. And that is where the Osmo Action is the better camera. This is the Samsung Gear 360. Man, it's a well-known issue of overheating. You get the incorrect card, this camera will overheat. And the only way to get this camera to stop overheating is to go out and buy another Gear 360 with the correct card. A Samsung Evo Select Plus, 128 gig. This camera will no longer overheat. You can get a good 87 minutes, but once you go into an environment that is closed, like inside a car, and the air is not hitting it, you are going to overheat. And I made that video going into the Everglades. I walked out for an hour and 3 minutes of continuous recording. Many reported many issues. Many things on the market have to give off heat. It's the 4K chip, it's the camera, it's inside the chip that's releasing through the lens and through this heat sink here. If there is no copper, how is the camera going to get the heat out? With the GoPro, this is where the heat comes out of, right over here. This is the coolest part of the camera, the bottom. With the Hero 8, what they've done is they've now made a little chamber here. And that's where the heat lies into. And there's not much room in there to allow that heat to escape. When you have a camera that is fully enclosed, it's going to entrap more heat. Waterproof cameras are just that. I think I said a lot, did a lot, talked a lot. With this casing, it does one extra thing. It protects the camera from damage. And I'm happy that I found a way to eliminate overheating. And that's what I do. I get no overheating. But if you want to refresh your firmware on the next step, you're going to need that debug file. So look for my how to downgrade, how to refresh the Osmo Action. And in there will be all the firmwares from firmware 1.2 right up to the latest with the debug file. All you do is just load the firmware, put the debug file next to it, off you go. Have a great day, and I hope you resolve your heating issues.